Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Diary of a Professional. We have the lovely Miss.
Oh, Ashley.
Mhm. Yeah, that's her. That's her. And it's Lou here. And we are just so happy to have y'all back. So, as per usual, we're going to start with our gratitudes. Whew. Let me think. What am I grateful for this week? This week, I am grateful for. I mean, it's kind of sort of leading into our episodes, but I am grateful for some of the connections that I still hold and the ones that, like, it just feels like really no time has passed. It feels like we are growing up together and we're, growing together. And I am just thankful that we can look back on so many great times and, like, they just feel like they take up a nice big chunk of my heart. So I am grateful for them.
Nice. Of course. I hear that one. Um, I am grateful for solitude.
Mm.
I am grateful for living by myself.
Hmm.
Um,
Hmm.
and it's not easy to live by yourself in New York, but I am grateful for when I step in my place, just silence and just decompressing without any noise, or if
Right.
I go out and I'm around family or friends or whoever, and I just feel it in my heart, like, yeah, no, you hitting that spot where you're annoying me. I can just like just dangle my keys. Oh, I gotta go.
Let me tell you, it is beautiful, but what's also beautiful in that is that you are comfortable in your solitude.
Absolutely.
There's so many people who cannot be left alone with their thoughts. It's not because they're a people person or they're just super social. They don't realize that they are super uncomfortable being by themselves and they need to be surrounded by people. So to be at a place where you're like, I like my peace and I find peace within myself, by myself, baby, that ain't nothing like. So kudos to you.
Thanks. But it's
Hmm.
like it's alarming when you don't want to be alone with your thoughts. That means you don't really sit with your thoughts.
Nah,
And then
not the
what
deep
happens if you
ones,
don't
not
sit
the
with your thoughts?
shallow ones, nothing.
But that's a whole nother conversation for another
It
day. We're
is.
not here for
It
that.
is. No. Hooray to solitude. I'm with you, boo.
Yes.
Um, and so, I had seen something on the internet and,
Mm.
there's always that, no new friends or whatever. I'm solid with my day ones. Ain't no switching up. Well, how would that song go? Sometimes, change can be a very good thing. So this week we'll be talking about, your day ones versus your day twos. It don't necessarily have to be one over the other, but there are comparisons that can be made. And so, I mean, I just kind of want to get into it. All right. So first, how about we define, in case it's not clear, the day ones versus day twos. The day ones, it can be, it's usually friends, but sometimes, your cousins are like your best friends first, your first best friends. So, like the people you grew up with, your childhood friends, those that helped mold you, who were there, when you were just a little thing. High school friends, I would probably even consider day
Yeah.
ones, you know. Those friends that when you were really like coming of age, those we gonna call your day ones. The ones by means of your neighborhood, your surroundings, what environments you were made to be in, those people that you made friends with. Now, your day twos. Your day twos, I would like to say college because
Yes.
you get to choose, you're in a different environment. You don't have to be, you might not know half the people's names in that class, but you chose to make a friend, you chose to have whatever. a relationship, your roommate, whatever, whatever. You know, it could be work, anything. I would say outside college and beyond would be your day twos, your second set of besties and the people you roll with, right? Those are the people that you definitely choose that probably reflect, you know, I would hope you've changed a little bit, you know, that different version of you, the older version of you. Um, and so, hmm, you
Well,
know,
how are we gonna start
mhm.
this conversation? This conversation can go many ways.
It does. You know, we've spoken about friendships and things before, and you know those day ones and ride or dies, and they, you know, sometimes they die. Sometimes we're not riding anymore. um, but like it's kind of like, you know, in the thing that we had watched, your day ones is like survival, right? You can't help who's in your class, especially when you're in one of those kind of schools. Maybe you went all the way from K to 12 sometimes if you don't move with the same people. You know what I
Yep.
mean? For better or worse, whether, you know, whoever they were, maybe, you know, like me and my brother, we're only a year apart. So our friends were a lot often the same friends. We had the same group. Like, you know, his friends became mine might have became his, whatever. You know, there have been times where I might have had a fallout, but everyone's in the same group. So sometimes to not rock the boat with everybody, because you know, we're not here for the static, you're friends. You know what I mean? I don't think I've ever, especially at that time, had like a friend that was only mine. It was always in a group,
Mm.
now that I
Mm.
think of it. So those
Mm.
dynamics sometimes can affect things.
Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Because
Yeah.
sometimes you realize, wait, they're more friends than these people, or this one is her best friend, but she's this one's best friend, and it can get all real tangled up, you know. And it is a means of survival, you know, to be social and you kind of figure out conflict, healthy or not, um, but you navigate your way through it, you know, and how you deal with people. And a lot of times, you know, at least for us, even if it might be different countries, a lot of us are all the same West Indian background, so our parents have the same kind of values or whatever.
Right.
Now, get into the real world, and you meet some different kind of people. You know, they, whether it's different background, they might have grown up in a different state or even country, but
Mm-hmm.
something about them speaks to you and who you are or who you want to be and who you want to be around. And sometimes that might be more meaningful because it's a choice. It's a choice. You don't have to be friends with them. You didn't have to make friends with them, especially if your day ones are still around. You know what I mean? Some people, I don't know if they know it, but you don't have to be friends with your coworkers, people. Topic for a different day, but you don't. Um, you know, but sometimes you find that person that you click with. Like that's your ace, you
Yep.
know. And I think also in being in different stages in life, I think there are different expectations of the relationship.
Yeah.
You know, I feel like the younger one might expect, because you know we had nothing but time when we was younger. Now we're adults. Honestly, even now, if Ashley and I can go 3 months, maybe even, without seeing each other face to face, but life happens, and you can understand that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Not everyone does, but you know. Go ahead,
No.
Ashley. Let me stop talking for a little bit.
No. I find this to be an interesting topic just because your day ones, I feel like there's a lot of core memories with them.
Hmm.
It's a nostalgic feel.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, oh, look what we did here. And remember when we did this, and remember when we did that. My only issue with day ones,
Mm-hmm.
I don't think they've uh, realized how much you can grow as a person. They kind of keep you in this bubble of like, well, this is Ashley, and this is how she is, and this is who she is, and this is, how she handled things,
Hmm.
without them really realizing, have you seen how much growth I've had? Or do you know where I am in my life? But they're so used to that Ashley that they knew from 13 years old, 21
Hmm.
years old, hell,
Hmm.
even 25 years old.
Well,
They just kind of know that Ashley, but don't know anything beyond that, or they don't even want to recognize the growth that you may have.
right.
I feel like I've lost quite a bit of day ones because I had such sharp growth
Mm,
in my life, and it was pretty apparent. It was pretty strong. I did a lot of curves that people were like, "Whoa, whoa, whoa! This is not who we know,"
right.
or "This is not how the Ashley that I know." Who
Yeah.
is actually be saying this? Who is actually be saying that? Or so I've definitely have lost some quote unquote day ones because of that, where they're like, this is not the person who I knew.
Right.
So that's what I find interesting about day ones. But however, my day twos, since they met me, or we meet each other in such a pivotal stage in our lives where we're
Hmm.
all kind of changing and figure out who we are, they
Yeah.
stay with you along the ride. For at least for me, how I view it, longer,
Hmm.
because they
Hmm.
see how we're all changing, growing into ourselves. So they kind of accept the growth. They kind of accept the boundaries. They kind of accept the new avenues, the new perspectives you may have. They know
Hmm.
they want to see you flourish. Um, Not saying they want someone to see you flourish, but they they see you in a different light,
Yeah.
that your day ones may not be able to see. So
Yeah. It sucks because like it's kind of like, and as a witness to it myself, and let me tell y'all, Ashley has leaps and bounds, like but she actively did it. Like she actively put in the work, to change to who she wanted to be, and to me personally for the better, because yes, boundaries are necessary. Certain levels of respect are necessary. Um, and like, to me, it's all been for the better,
Mhm.
unless if you are someone who, um, wants to control things, or was able to better take advantage of the old passive, I want everything to be sweet and nice, Ashley, then there shouldn't be an issue. Um, Especially because, I feel like we've all changed and we've all grown. So why wouldn't you allow that in someone else? I don't get it. But I also think, like, there's also something that happens sometimes when, if you might link up with, a day one, that you kind of revert back to who you used to be, which is so weird and so odd, but it happens all the time.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you become that old person. So it's kind of like, part of you is still there. I don't know if it's habit. I don't know if it's familiarity, but you just fall back into those roles. And sometimes you realize, damn, I don't want to be who I used to be. I don't want to, and sometimes it's almost too easy. It's scary.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, where did that girl come from? Because I worked hard to change that. And you get around one or two people, and it's like,
Yeah.
nostalgia almost becomes a trigger,
Yeah. And it's so
you know?
interesting that you said that. Growing is not like linear.
No.
It You may regress back to move forward. And I find that with my day ones, I kind of really go back quickly. And I'm just like, I kind of get hard on myself. I'm like, how did I end up here when I've worked so
Mm-hmm.
hard? And I end up kind of going back to old habits, old ways, and then I'm now once again labeled this way and that way and that way. And I'm like, but I'm not that. but this is what they see,
Right.
you know,
Right.
or this is what they're triggering out of me too as well. So I it's really a perpetual cycle there of just trying to break those habits, trying to break those cycles, and trying to build those boundaries, um, especially if you're growing, and letting go some day ones if you need to for your growth and just the betterment of yourself too as well.
Yes,
You
I
know?
agree. And, sometimes I almost feel like maybe because your day twos sometimes align more with who you are, who you want to be, um, they might see more of the real you. You know how like someone can just be like, oh, they only know this person to be one way, and all of a sudden they're around a group and they're like, whoa, like she's let loose, she cut loose. I didn't know she did this and did that. But I feel like sometimes there's less judgment. And especially when, your day ones, there's so many more attachments, whether it's like family attachments or like community, or even like, people who are maybe deep in their church. Um,
Mhm.
it feels kind of like if you let them see that side of you, while they might be okay with it, but they let someone else know, and it becomes a game of telephone. And then now you're under the microscope for who you are and
Yes.
thought would be okay to be around, certain people. It's not what it's expected because, that's just how it's been for decades. And now I have to hide who I am. And
Yeah.
now I can't be myself.
Right.
I can't do
Yeah.
that.
Right.
I can't do that.
Yeah. I am a promoter of new friends. You know, we
Hmm.
wave around no new friends, no new friends. But I'm a promoter of new friends. I'm a promoter of
Right.
you're in a different stage of your life. You're vibrating higher,
Hmm. Hmm.
as people
Hmm.
may say. So
Yes.
therefore, if you're vibrating high in a different level, therefore you require a different level of friendships. You know?
10,000%. Like you might have someone that you love absolutely, but like, let's say Ashley's into hiking and she might join a hiking group. Her bestie of besties might like to stay at a lounge. And so she still wants to explore and grow that side of herself. She shouldn't limit it because they can't meet on that same level. You know what I mean? So
Mhm.
maybe you might meet someone who enjoys those same activities as you. And for people who sometimes struggling in finding day twos and unfortunately being stuck in, maybe a day one situation that they want to, join groups. Like shit that you used to love to do as a kid. Trust me, there's an adult version. And that's how it can start.
Absolutely. Just finding back your inner child,
Mm-hmm.
because we definitely easily lose ourselves in adulthood.
All
And
the time.
if you just go back to what you used to love to do as a child and do it now presently, and then you meet people there who enjoy the
Mm-hmm.
same passions as you do,
Yeah.
there goes some other level 2 or maybe even level 3 friends who I don't know.
Ooh, what's a level three? Put me
I
on.
don't know. I don't know. I haven't been there yet. I haven't unlocked that level. Haven't unlocked that level, but I'm just saying
Right.
like
Right. No, it's true. It's true. It don't even have to be that deep. At least not in the beginning. Like you don't have to be like pen pals. You
right.
know. But I agree. I agree. I will say for myself, I am thankful that a good chunk of my day ones, have nicely transitioned. Where I think we've all grown, and I mean, I guess I'm not going to call them day twos because they've always been there, but they have made it to the other side of who
Hmm.
I am and who I want to be. And it's an active choice. I think that's also another thing. You're choosing and you're constantly like any relationship, you're putting in that work, and it's not just because, we might go to a family function or someone's having an event and then we just have to, no, even if it takes forever, we choose to put in the work to see each other and build on that relationship and to build more memories. It does get harder,
Yeah.
nowadays to do it, but it is an active choice that we are making, that we constantly make, and that we have grown. Maybe some, more than others, which is fine. Um, and sometimes, yes, you do have to redefine the relationship and realizing that, okay, maybe this isn't as strong, or, this kind of has a threshold to maybe how deep it gets. But it is there and the love is there. And, you don't necessarily have to end one, but I think you have to be aware of where people stand and where the limitations might be because of who you are and who they are.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. And
Yeah.
that's okay, y'all. As we get older, definitely have those limitations, you know. I have a cousin who was telling me this the other day. Like,
Mm-hmm.
for example, I don't know what the best way she kind of was phrasing it to me, but like, for example, I am a show, right? I'm
Oh.
a show at a theater, and you can arrange the audience any way you choose. You can have people having like front row seats, or you can put people
Mm-hmm.
at the back of the theater. You can direct people in your life any way you choose
Mm-hmm.
in that theater for your show.
Mm-hmm.
You can
Mm-hmm.
choose your audience
I like
and
that.
how you want them to see you. So it's
If they
okay.
get to see you at all, child.
Exactly. Sometimes it's exclusive, sometimes it's VIP, you know. So, it's okay if you need to put some day ones in the back. That's fine. Or
Mm-hmm.
out the damn theater itself. Boot them out. They were disruptive, you know.
We will not be having that.
They were disruptive. So you gotta kick them, boot them out. So
Yeah. Yeah.
it's
Yeah. Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
It's okay to move and juggle around your day ones and day twos. That's fine. But um, just know that if it's not uplifting you, if it's not making you grow, reconsider. And I think sometimes we can battle with that. I know
Mm-hmm.
I can honestly say I can battle with that.
Yeah.
Um, and I'm the one that say it most to people. Like, just because you've known someone for years doesn't mean that they're good for you in your life. I say this all the
Mm-hmm.
time to other people. I give great advice to other people. Do I apply them all the time to my life? That's a whole nother question. you know, uh, just because you may know them for X amount of time doesn't mean that they need to be for your life. Because if you met
Mm-hmm.
them now at this big age, would you be friends with them?
Right.
So you definitely adjust where you need to adjust your day ones, but your day twos definitely understand you a whole lot more.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I think I like how you put that because someone who in my hypothetical wedding would have been right there if I were to have it today, would they even be invited? Would they even be a guest? You know what I'm saying? So those things, it gets tricky. It gets tricky. And sometimes it doesn't have to be a whole big thing. Someone might have I don't know, took a trip to Tibet and discovered a new religion and the them that no longer fits. That can happen in day two situations as well.
Yes.
Um, it just has to fit. It has to fit, it has to work, it has to make sense. And while you do have to do the work to keep it going, it should also feel effortless. It shouldn't feel like another job.
If
None of
it's
it.
feeling forced, let it go.
Precisely. Precisely. And that goes across the board. Across the board.
In any situation in your life.
Because, why? Why? Let's, can we even get down to the root of it? Why is this not making sense anymore? Why does it feel like it's, if I can express myself or say how I feel, or I never receive anything you say, well, when you're at that impasse, I don't know. I don't know.
And it's okay, you know?
Right.
It's okay. Um,
Yes.
but I don't know, I don't know, people, let us know your thoughts. Oh, are
Yes.
yeah, do you think we wrong? Do you think day ones are it and ride with you to the very end?
Right.
Uh, do you feel like the day twos are where it's at? Do you feel like there shouldn't be any comparison? A friend is a friend, regardless.
Very true. That's an option. It's a choice.
You know, I mean, let us know your thoughts. Let us know how y'all feel about that. You know.
Right. Yeah. We'll see. I want to hear what the people have to say because sometimes they'll say like a day one will keep you humble because they know, but their caveats to like keeping me humble is that does that mean you keeping me how you remember me to be? I don't know. Um, so yeah, we want to know your thoughts. Where do you stand on all of it? Thankfully, I think when you are true to who you are and who you're, yourself, a lot of your day ones might look like your day twos. And I think for better or worse, my day ones and day twos are able to mesh well because I think I've been fairly consistent in who I am and who I attract. So for that, I am thankful. Because, honey, sometimes you could keep both and they're both important, but they don't like each other. The day ones and the day twos do not like each other,
Oh, they
honey.
get mad. Wow. Oh, people get territorial quickly.
Very much so. Very much so. Because when all of a sudden, when you start having way too many inside jokes that one group might not know about, oh, that's on purpose. That's shade.
Oh no, I've had some day
Hmm.
ones who said some shady things about my day twos. I'd be like, oh,
Yeah.
okay.
It's very much giving you can't sit with us energy. And that's like, no, come along for me. Like, let's stay focused. Let's
It's yeah, it's interesting how that plays out, and it's interesting too how people really hold on to titles of that too. Like it's a whole nother thing. Like, well, I am the best friend from 5 years old.
that entitlement will get you, baby. Cause if you bestie, trust me, everyone should be able to see it and say it before you do. So
Yeah. At any rate, y'all let us know your thoughts on this
yes, ma'am.
episode. And yeah, let us know, share it to people. You
Yeah.
know, growth is important. Love your day ones, love your day twos. That's all I can.
Mm-hmm. And let us know what day three, looks like. Cause I still don't know. But it exists, I'm sure.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yes.
All
Okay.
right, lovelies. Till the next time, y'all.
Bye y'all.